Hello there everyone. Today we're going to be doing a remodel of the one-bedroom home and a subscriber request. Rick asked me to remodel the old one-bedroom home, and it's going to be a let's remodel, so you can see how I did it from start to finish. And we're going to take a look at this. I know everyone knows what the before looks like, but when you're going back and remodeling something this old, which by the way I have done on my channel before, way back when I first started my channel, so it's been a long time and I honestly can't even remember what I did with it before. But in case you're new, first of all, welcome, but also know that when I do remodels, I don't change the walls. Sometimes I'll add a floor on top if it's small like this, and I think that may have been what I did in the original video, but for today we're not going to be doing that. We're only going to be, as I usually do, just working with what is here. So I'm just taking a look at it, as you can see, from the top and emptying it out. And I also wanted you to note this video has been heavily edited because when I do these I have to take out all the scrolling, because I think I was working with this time probably about 2 hours of footage. So that's a long time to sit there and just watch somebody scroll through items, so I tried to cut all that out that I could, and now you see me just getting it all emptied out there. So that's what we're working with. It is a very small house, and usually what I try to do when I do the remodels is I try to find an exterior that I like first. So that could be the roof. Sometimes it's just the exterior walls, and sometimes I just don't know which one I want to do first. I really wish, and I've said this a long time ago, that they would let us preview things like this together before we purchase them. Because sometimes if you choose a roof that you think you might want to have, then you can't find an exterior. You have to go back and then change the roof, and that can get really expensive, or you're just stuck with it if you don't have the currency. So I really wish there was some kind of feature where you could preview roofs and exterior walls together before you make up your mind and purchase them. So you'll see me going through trying to make up my mind what I wanted the outside of this house to look like. So I ended up settling for the green roof and the ivory exterior wall color. And usually after I pick out the exterior as far as the roof and exterior color goes, then I'll usually try to just find the doors, because I want to make sure when I do the home that I know kind of what I'm going with the doors and windows, if that makes sense. Now, that's not always. Sometimes I actually just go ahead and decorate a room after I pick the exterior colors. If I just have some furniture in mind that I want to use, sometimes I'll go ahead and just do the room. Then I'll pick all the doors and windows, because then I have more of a theme in mind. So it really just depends, but typically I do pick out the doors and windows first. So you'll just see me going through trying to decide kind of in the future where I want the doors, and sometimes I do end up tweaking that a little bit. And as you can see, if you want to go for an older doorway, I end up going for the lake house doorways in this one, but the old Victorian looking doorway matches it perfectly as well. So if you don't have those, that is a good stand-in. The older Victorian looking wood doorways, they're about the same color. And also, you may hear some background noise in this video as well. Maybe I'll put some music to the background. I'm not sure at this point, but we're kind of all stuck inside right now, and it's a little unavoidable to hear some background noise. And it's really hard, to be honest, to find a really quiet time to record. So I appreciate you all bearing with me during all of this, because I still want to be able to do this and bring you the videos that you've requested. So you can see me going through and picking out the floors. I went all the way back and picked out one of the older wood floors. I really like this one. I haven't used it in a while. It's a nice tone. And I also want to let you know ahead of time, a lot of the items in this house that I use are not brand new items. I went for maybe, a few updates back and way older. So I just wanted to do that and not necessarily use all new items in this build. And I decided to keep that old white carpet in the bedroom as well. So that's what it's looking like so far. And now you'll see me going to pick out the windows here. I decided on these little arched windows. Haven't used those in a while either. They are older, very easy to come by. As you can see, I had quite a bit in my inventory from demolishing homes from the past. So I turned them around because they do have hinges, and I wanted it to look like the hinges were on the outer portions of each window. And obviously that's going to still be the bathroom. So I'm just kind of picking little spots here. I don't know necessarily if those windows are going to stay in those positions, but that's just kind of what I do, even though I don't have any furniture in the home yet. As long as they are windows and items for that matter that I already have in my inventory, so I'm not wasting money if I spend on the item, if you get what I mean. If I have plenty in my inventory, I feel like I can go ahead and just place them in there and play around with them, and I can always remove them later, and it wouldn't really make a difference afterwards. So I believe in the original video where I did this remodel before, I may have actually made the bedroom the living room and the living room the bedroom. I can't remember what I did. I'll have to go back and look at that. If I find the video, I'll try to link it down below, maybe in a pinned comment, because now I'm kind of interested to see what I did before. But for some reason, when I was doing it at this point, I was thinking that maybe I had switched the bedroom and living room around. But that's how it's looking so far. I was thinking that it was already looking kind of cute, and I'm just trying to decide what I should do with the inside of it at this point. So you see me taking out two of the middle windows because it's a small living room, and I really wanted to have a fireplace and have enough room on the other wall for the TV and still have a decent sized sofa in there. So I was kind of thinking ahead just a little bit and trying to decide in my mind where I was going to put the fireplace and the TV, and this is where I chose to put the fireplace. I also love the look of the chimney on the outside of the house, on all the houses lately that we've been able to put them on. And I've mentioned this before too, I really hope that they give us different looking chimneys so we have a choice, with the exteriors. And at first I had put this TV in here, this older TV, but I do end up removing that later. But I decided to use the French white sofas in here. I think they look really nice with that fireplace because it has the white brick and sort of like the navy blue hearth on it. And of course, there's not really much room for a coffee table. I could have put one in there, but I decided not to. But I did want to put these bookshelves here on either side of the room, and that made me want to put a different kind of TV in there too, because that definitely ended up not matching that furniture. So you can kind of see the process behind how I do this. And it's good that I can show it to you this way because it is such a simple, cute little home once you remodel it. Now that is a newer item that I did use, but like I said, most of the items in this house are a little bit older, and that is a newer rug that I did purchase, but I just really wanted to use it in there with that French sofa. And I'm using the older French, I think they're called topiary plants in here on either side of the fireplace, and some of the French pictures over here on either side of the doorways. And as you can see when I come out in just a second, it's turning out to be a cute little remodeled living room. I like the colors. I picked the pale blue for the walls, so there would be a little bit of a contrast there with the navy blue rug, and also it brings out the blue in the pillows on the couches, and I think it's looking really cute at that point. So next, my focus was going to be on the kitchen. That is one of the wallpapers that we have that I dislike the most. Now remember, everybody has different tastes, and I'm sure that that wallpaper would look really nice in a certain kind of room. At least for me, I don't ever use that wallpaper. So when I do these remodels, if it has a wallpaper in it that I really, really hate, I have to resist the temptation of just changing it to white for a while so I can visualize the room. That can be really hard to decorate a room when it has a wall color on there that you really hate, because it's hard to see what it's going to look like ahead of time, but you don't want to put the wallpaper in yet until you have the room finished. So I kind of go back and forth on that too. I kind of struggle with that a little bit, but I kind of knew it was going to be more of maybe like a pale color in there. And I did use that older Wizard's Cottage tile. I forgot to mention that when I put it in. And I was just trying to figure out where I was going to put the window and door there in the kitchen. I did want to keep the side door in there, maybe to put the trash bins outside of the kitchen, which would be really convenient. And I'm just kind of playing around with those farmhouse counters there, and I did decide on that pale blue color. It's just a little bit deeper than the color that I used in the living room, but it does match the cabinets and countertops. So I decided also I did not like the corner cabinet the way it looked, so I took that out and decided later on to put a trash can there, and it just made it look a little bit more realistic and put together. So still in the middle of decorating the kitchen, and of course next would be a table, and I picked the farmhouse table and some French blue chairs. I think those blue chairs look beautiful with a lot of different tables that we have, but particularly if you're using any kind of a pale blue wall, it really complements it, whether you're making like a great room area with the table in it or just a small little kitchen. It really does look good in there, that type of chair with that pale blue wall, as you can see. And then I chose one of those paintings because it has a little bit of pale blue in it as well, but you could put any of those paintings that you like over the table. And then putting a weather machine in, because when I was making this it was starting to get a little bit dark, so that brightened it up just a little bit. So that's what the kitchen's looking like so far. And I'm really liking how the blues sort of go along with the blues in the living room. I did want something there on the wall by the kitchen door, so I chose to put one of those little canister and apron racks there, the little shelf. And I wanted to put some appliances in here as well. And then of course I get distracted and see a picture that I may want in the bedroom, so I'll go ahead and put it in there just in case. And just finishing up the kitchen with some little things on the table there, and there's the trash can that I chose to put there by the fridge instead of that corner cabinet. And then just a mixer there, and of course everybody has different appliances in their inventory, and I'm using an older coffee maker here, but you can just use whatever you have. And just some flowers there. I like the blue flowers with the blue wallpaper and chairs, and I think it turned out to be a cute little kitchen area, kind of traditional. Yeah, so I like how that looks. And then of course I want to focus on this entryway here next. And I like how it has the same wood floor as the living room, kind of keeps it continuous and uniform through there. And you can see I'm just putting a boot bench here, and I wanted to keep it rather simple. I took one of the little wine console tables from the farmhouse and put it there, and then one of the, I believe that's a French rug, and I think I may have gotten that with mystery box keys a while back. But after that, I believe they offered those in the online store, if I'm not mistaken. And then just a candle lantern, which I really love those older candle lanterns. I think they're very pretty, especially lit up against the wall. And just a plant there beside that. And then I wanted to put a plant there in the corner since there's a window on the other side. And then just a coat rack there by the window. And then over here in the bedroom, I decided to take that picture that I thought I was going to put in there and put it over top of that, and I think that looks a lot better. See, I just love those older candle lanterns. I think they're really nice. So that's what the entryway looks like. Very simple again, but just enough. And then next, we're going to go over and watch how I redecorated the bathroom. So I put the same tile in there, that Wizard's tile, as I mentioned before, that's in the kitchen. And this is sort of cut here a little bit because I had the bathroom a lot different and it just did not look right at all. I wanted to have a washer and dryer in the house, and since the house is really small and there's not room to do a laundry area because I don't change the walls, I wanted to put the washer and dryer in the bathroom. And I knew there was enough room in here. It just took a little doing, which I edited out. But first I put this shower in, and I just didn't really like how it looked. I ended up changing that. I did decide on this little villa white vanity, and you can see me there. I'm just kind of looking at it and I'm thinking, well, do you see what I mean? I had it another way too with one of those toilet paper divider things, hiding the washer and dryer, and that definitely didn't look right, and I wasn't really pleased with this either. So I go back in and I do make a few changes, but you can kind of see the process that I go through whenever I do the remodels. So I wanted to leave part of this in so you could kind of see. But then you'll see me taking out that shower because, again, I just wasn't happy with it. And then once I decided on the spa shower, I was much happier with how the bathroom was going. Then I just chose a chalet towel bar there and put it by the shower. And then I went over and took a duplicate of the trash can in the kitchen and put one in the bathroom as well. And then, of course, where it's a bathroom, it definitely needs a light and a rug. So you'll see me choosing those. I just wanted something simple and white to go sort of in the middle of the bathroom there. And so you can see we're almost finished with it, except for the bedroom and the exterior landscaping. But I saw a light that I wanted to put, just one of those party lights up there. It's meant to be a party light, but really it looks like one of those recessed lights in a house, so we all kind of use those. But we don't really have room to put light on a wall. It's a great option to light the room up without having a bulky, light fixture hanging from the ceiling, especially in a small house that can be kind of overwhelming. So those are always a good option, those little party lights to light up a room if you need to. So now it's time to take a look at this bedroom. And I knew right away I wanted to use that Japanese bed. I had used it a few builds back. It's kind of neat how you go back and you rediscover some old furniture that is from way, way at the beginning of the game, at least for us who have been playing the game for a long time. And I've kind of fallen in love with that bed again. It's one of my favorite older beds for sure. And I put a desk in the corner there and just a blue candle holder and one of the Japanese decorations there on the dresser. Again, I didn't want to overdo it in any of these spaces in the house because it is such a small house. And I thought this was a great fit. Some rooms, they just don't look right, those ceiling fans. But I thought it looked really nice in this bedroom. One of the Latin plants there in the corner to bring out the browns and golds from the flower pot. And I thought that little orange lamp would look really pretty there because of the orange chair with the desk. And it really does look good. And obviously we definitely needed something over the bed, but I'm just turning on the lights here just to get a feel for maybe what kind of painting I might want over top of the bed. And I chose to put one of these newer art pieces here. I thought about the blue farmhouse painting. If you have that, that would be a good option as well. And we have a couple more. It depends on what you have in your inventory, but I just wanted to put that over that bed. So it looks like we're about to finish up here with the interior of the house. And I almost forgot to put the phone in, but I definitely wanted to do that because I try to always have, besides the basics like a couch and a bookshelf and all of that, I always try to have a phone and a computer in the house just in case I want to do events, particularly the pregnancy events. So now you can see that I'm doing the sidewalk here. I wanted to use that color because I thought it complemented the exterior color of the house. And I'm kind of just wanting to put a little patio over here. That's really all there's room for on the small lot. I thought about wrapping it around the back over to the kitchen door, but I thought that would be a little bit much. And you can see me hiding the weather machine down the basement, which I typically do. And then just bringing that same patio finish over here on the back patio. And I really like to fence my patios in. You've probably noticed that. Some people don't, some people do, but I just like to do that. I think the privacy factor in real life would be a thing for me because I try to make my builds lifelike if possible. I'm just not good at creating these kinds of builds. A lot of people are, where they don't need to be realistic, they're just really creative. I don't have that kind of talent, so I just try to stick to realistic things because they're just more simple for me. So in real life, for an outdoor patio, I like to have it fenced in. So that's typically why you see me doing that, just so you know. And I really love these dark brown ones, but I think I purchased those in an online pack. So, I did try to keep everything very simple in this house with as little items as I could that were really new or purchased, but if you don't have the fencing, you can use any of the other older fencing and it will look just fine because the exterior colors are so neutral anyway. And so now it's time to put some flowers outside. I chose these older white lilies because I thought they complemented the exterior really well. And you'll see me pop out here just to make sure that I like how they look. And I think they're really pretty. I hadn't used them in so long. And you'll see me start to speed this up here because I actually end up putting quite a bit of these outside, just lining the front. And I wanted them to go over to the side just a little bit, but not quite all the way around the side of the house. And then, yeah, so you can see how pretty that looks just like that. And then I wanted to just put something over there to kind of be a stopping point for those. And I kind of experimented with that a little bit. You saw that I kind of cut that just a little bit. I wanted to leave room by the front door though for lights outside, so I didn't bring it all the way around the front. And I wanted to use one of these new trees, so I just kind of put it out here by the back door as well. I ran across those as I was looking for trees for the front yard. So I started out with these very large pine trees, and it almost just looked too overwhelming for the small house. I didn't really know if I wanted to keep them or what I wanted to do. So you'll see me go back in just a minute and kind of choose something else for that. But I decided while I was thinking about that to go ahead and furnish the patio, and I went and found these old white and tan and then black lawn chairs. I really like those. It's been, again, very long since I've used those, but I'm enjoying going back and finding older items like I said. And this patio actually ends up looking very pretty and very coordinated with the exterior of the house. I'm just putting a lamp there. I always like to have a little lamp outside if I can. And I haven't used one of these in a while either, one of the hanging plants. And I think that plant comes from the villa, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, I had to sneak in a couple of these new cactus plants as well. I really like the white pots. I think they're very pretty. So you can see it looks very coordinated with the outdoor colors there. It's really shaping up on the outside. And I just still wasn't satisfied with that large tree. So I go back, and this is kind of my go-to tree if you haven't noticed. We got those with the farmhouse update, if I'm not mistaken, and I may have actually purchased those, but they are my go-to if I just need something that's a 3x3 and not too large and overwhelming for a small yard. So that's what the exterior looks like, and I wanted to put some lighting outside, so I chose some of the little ground lights for this front flower bed here, and then I also wanted to put some lights by the front door as I mentioned before, so I went with the urban lights. I do like those for a light colored house. I love the glow that they put on the front of the house, and of course I end up going around the back because I had forgotten the back door. But do you see what I'm saying there? I know they're supposed to be for inside, but I really do like putting them outside. I think they look really nice. So that's what it's looking like. And then I noticed there that I didn't have a light by the back door. So you'll see me going up front and taking a copy of one of these and putting it out back, right by the back door here. That way if you're going out to take the garbage out at night or something, you'll have a light there. Again, I like to make it as realistic as possible. We'll just turn that on. Looks nice. And I really like this little remodel. I think it's so cute. We'll take a final little tour of it here in just a second, but I wanted you to get a better look at the exterior again as it is finished. And just remember what it looked like before, that little blue house with the blue roof. And now we'll take our final tour of the newly decorated one bedroom. So you come into the entryway here. Again, I tried to keep it very simple, but I wanted to make it look nice, just not overly decorated. You come straight through to the living area here. I really like this little room. I think it came together very well. Again, not overly done. All you could need in a living room, really, and I think the colors came together well as the kitchen. I really like the colors in here. I like all the blues and the light woods. You have your door to go out there to the trash can there, and then you have your stove by the windows. And you come in here to the bedroom. Nice sized bedroom for a small house. And it now has a desk in it and the Japanese bed. And it has the dark blues in it, kind of a contrast to the other rooms, and I like that. And then you come across the entryway to what is the bathroom and now also the laundry room. You have the light woods in here as well with the washer and dryer. You have the light woods with the shower. And then you have a little bit of that wood there on the villa vanity. And here is the patio that was never here before, and I added that. So yeah, I think it turned out to be a nice remodel. Let's take a look at it at nighttime so you can see how nice it looks all lit up at night. There's the front there. I like how the patio looks at night. Very nice. And this house also, if you haven't remodeled it yet or bought it, particularly if you are just new to the game, it makes an excellent 2-story small family home. And remember, just because I don't change the walls, that's just something I've placed on myself. You can do anything you want with this house. So it's a great starter home to purchase and redecorate. And you can keep redecorating it as you go along in the game. That's the wonderful thing about a little house like this. So just because it's not decorated so great when you first buy it, keep in mind that any house you purchase in the game or any of my builds, my original builds that you recreate, you can make them your own with what you have in your inventory. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for hanging out this long with me. I really appreciate it. And Rick, thank you so much for your request. I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, hit that like button or leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Take care, and I will see you next time.